Okay, welcome or welcome back. I haven't perfected an intro, and I think I got really in my head about what you're supposed to say or like how you're supposed to call your people something. I don't have that many people, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Or person, I don't know. Or like how people will be like, hey, bestie. I don't know, just everything with the names kind of sounds disingenuous to me, just to me personally, for me, because I don't really do pet names like that. I don't know. I don't really call people little cutesy names. I don't really call people by their name either. I don't really like, once I know you, like, I don't, unless I need to get your attention from across the room. Like, what do I need your name for? I'm like, maybe I just dissociate too hard from everything and that's the byproduct. I don't know. But like even like when I'm in a relationship with someone, I find like I don't know, like I don't really refer to them as anything usually. Sometimes unless something comes natural, I don't know. Like it just it just feels weird. But then like sometimes if you need to get their attention, like across the room or something, it's like it just feels awkward because it's like you're just you and I'm just me. I don't know. Like, what's in a name? Maybe I'm just always forever dissociating. So, um, I don't know, but it ebbs and flows. Like sometimes I'll have like a little nickname or something, or if someone wants to be called something. I like to call people what they want to be called usually. So, I don't know. And I also feel like I don't like using standard names like baby, babe, girl, girly, bestie. Like I if you get a name, like your name is gonna be your unique name. So anyway, I tried it with like Supernova, and even with myself, I don't even know what I call myself. But even with myself, like I don't know where I was going with that. Backtrack. But like I tried it out, Supernova, and it worked for like a day, but then I don't know. I'm just too detached for that. We are who we are. We are the world, you know. Shout out to MJ. Um so anyways, I wanted to talk about something that's been a recurring theme cropping up lately, and it is the theme of integrity and what integrity really means and my experience with it recently. So, integrity is basically the integration of words, actions, thoughts, intentions, shadow, light, and then it is the root of embodiment or being showing up in an embodied way, which is what I've been striving for lately. And that's just really being in the present, in the now, in the body rather than caught up in the mind. And it's harder to do on a consistent basis than we may think, especially with being bombarded with all kinds of distractions and whatnot. But when someone has a strong character, good character, they carry themselves with integrity, essentially what that means is that they are who they say they are. They do what they say they'll do. They mean what they say what they mean. And that's something that is pretty hard to come by these days, I would say. And it's not always a malicious thing. Like, I don't think people are necessarily trying to be disingenuous, or it's just, I feel like a lot of people are throwing around their words carelessly, and actions, honestly, and they don't see the impact and the damage that that does because they don't really care, I guess. Or they're just like fixated on the wrong things. Because I'm like, how are so many people so anxious and overthinking and this and that and whatever it is, the ailments, and which is basically you're like hyper fixating, you're like always scanning and um overthinking, hypersensitive, and yet just so painfully disconnected from what's actually going on, to the point where you care so much, but you do so much damage that you just like, I don't know if what I'm saying is making sense, but it's like you gotta really get out of your head to have integrity and to move in this embodied way. And it's just like this funny little paradox where the people who care the most about what other people think of them and perception and all these things, they tend to be the ones that are the most careless. Like, they come across as careless in day-to-day interactions, and it's their own stupid fault. Like, you're so worried about what other people think of you. You're worried about messing up. You're worried about not being liked. You're worried about being rejected. You're worried about being made fun of, or whatever the worry is. You're so hyper fixated on what everybody thinks and pleasing everybody that you become so painfully unpleasant to be around. At least that's how I feel about those types of people. And this is coming from someone who's walked that walk. So I'm not trying to be judgmental, but it's just it's just so funny when you realize that all this overthinking and anxiety and all these things, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy where you're essentially bringing in the energy that you're most afraid of, which on an energetic level makes a lot of sense. And the more like careless that you are in that regard, the more you're able to show up in a way that's very kind and caring, and that people actually like and will actually want to be around. So it's just like the craziest phenomenon where you literally are creating this reality where your deepest fear and anxiety is coming into fruition because of your own behavior, which is reacting to this inner turmoil and fear and whatever else is going on. And the answer is not taking some drug or numbing yourself, or it's getting out of your head and in your body and really feeling. And most people would do anything but feel. And that is why these things that are designed to be addicting, distracting, and disconnecting us from ourselves, each other, nature, etc., etc. These things are cleverly and painstakingly designed to become addictive and feed more into those fears and create more disconnection and disembodiment. And it's just like this vicious cycle. And when you break out of that, it's things get quiet, things get boring, if you will, but you start to see things. It's almost like you feel like almost like a ninja because it's like time almost slows down in this way where you can see and read between the lines and pick up on things, and you kind of move in this like slow but steady manner. And it's almost like a superpower because everybody else is like, and if you're like slow and steady and intentional and you move with integrity, you literally become magnetic to good things, opportunities, abundance, because that frequency is very powerful and it's very magnetic and it's very charismatic and it's very highly recommend. Um and it stands out because you're like weaving through and like dancing through the chaos, and it's like the ones that are like scrambling around, they notice, even if they're like really unaware and in their head, they'll notice, but they won't be able to figure out like what's off about you, or but they notice, even if it's like on a subconscious level, that your energy is different, that your boundaries are stronger, that you I want to be careful using words like stronger, or like, I'm not saying it to be like stroking ego or anything like that, but because there is some downsides where you can feel disconnected, it can be isolating, and it can be hard to find um, people to really connect with that really resonate with that. But when you do, it's really powerful because it's like you connect and it feels like time is standing still because there's like all this chaos and noise and then like you're able to just be here and feel. And I don't know if any of that makes sense, but if you know, you know. And it's been really replaying this notion of integrity. And whereas before it it seemed like it was, I don't know what I thought the definition was like on a conceptual level, but integrity is literally just integrating everything into this embodied state and just carrying yourself with this slow and steady energy of like, I know who I am. And I may wake up tomorrow and I may be a different person, but I trust myself. I love myself. I want to continue blooming into myself, getting to know myself deeply, being there for myself, accepting myself in all forms, all phases, all cycles, following my own natural rhythm and breath, and just this embodied state, this unshakable calm amongst whatever chaos. Like, that is powerful. If you can tap into that, like, tap in, lock the fuck in, like, you literally feel like a super human, you know? And it doesn't mean you never have anxiety or ride these waves or have moments, but it's like you always kind of come back and you kind of do this dance. You ride the wave. You return to center time and time again like a wave. And it's just a beautiful thing. And I just I've just been holding myself to that standard and seeking out others that embody this sense of integrity, even if they're not aware of, because, like, I feel like this is something that I've been building over time, and like through shedding these different layers and sitting with the shadow, sitting with pain and transmuting and going through deaths and rebirths and all these cycles and waves and changes and phases and all the things in my life, and like getting to this point has been um it's been quite a ride, but I didn't really know what to call that, this energy that I've been in lately, but it's it's something that has made decision making a lot easier, because it's like, okay, if it causes me to not be able to stand in my authenticity and my integrity, if it throws me off and I'm not able to get back to center, then it doesn't belong here. It doesn't belong here. It's not aligned. And it just kind of cuts through the noise. I don't know if any of this is making sense, but so I don't know what the moral of the story is here, other than just this realization that integrity is really what it's all about, in my opinion. Like, to just embody who you are and carry yourself with this confidence and inner knowing and trust in yourself. And no matter what life throws at you, it's just like, it doesn't matter. You can always come back home. And it's such a powerful thing. And like, it's easier to spot when things are not that way. It's like,